Imagine looking up at the night sky and recalling the magic of learning about 9 planets, with Pluto shining as the distant, mysterious member of our solar family. But in 2006, everything changed. Pluto, once celebrated as the 9th planet, was reclassified into a new category known as a dwarf planet. Today, we'll unravel the story behind that controversial decision, exploring both the technical details and the human emotions woven into this astronomical tale. The story of Pluto begins in 1930 at Lowell Observatory in Arizona, where a young astronomer named Clyde Tombaugh discovered a small, icy world. For over 75 years, Pluto held a special place in our textbooks and imaginations. A symbol of discovery and curiosity, Pluto was more than just a distant dot in the night sky. It was a familiar friend that connected generations. However, as telescopes became more sophisticated, astronomers started to learn that Pluto was not quite like the rest of the planets. To understand why, we need to dive into some technical details. Scientists found that Pluto's orbit is highly elliptical, a term that means its path around the Sun isn't a perfect circle, but more of an elongated oval. This unusual orbit even sometimes takes Pluto closer to the Sun than Neptune. In addition to its odd orbit, Pluto is relatively small and has a complex composition involving ice and rock. In the 1990s, explorations of a region beyond Neptune, known as the Kuiper Belt, uncovered hundreds of icy bodies, many similar in composition and size to Pluto. The Kuiper Belt is like a cosmic treasure trove, a vast ring filled with relics from the early solar system. These discoveries prompted astronomers to ask, if Pluto is just one of many icy objects in this region, should it still be the only planet held in such high regard? This question eventually led to a monumental meeting held in 2006 by the International Astronomical Union, IAU. The IAU, a collective of the world's leading astronomers, was tasked with defining what exactly makes a celestial body a planet. They devised 3 criteria that a body must meet. It must orbit the Sun, it must be massive enough for its own gravity to mold it into a nearly round shape, a state known as hydrostatic equilibrium, and most crucially, it must have cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. In simpler terms, this last requirement means that a planet must have enough gravitational pull to either attract or fling away smaller objects and debris in its orbital path. Pluto meets the first 2 conditions. It orbits the Sun and is largely round in shape, but it falls short on the third. In its segment of space, it coexists with a multitude of other Kuiper Belt objects. Lacking gravitational dominance, Pluto simply could not clear its orbital neighborhood. This technical shortfall led the IAU to reclassify Pluto, sending shockwaves among astronomers and the public alike. The decision was not purely about numbers and definitions. It was a story of scientific evolution and a bittersweet farewell to a cherished icon. For many, Pluto's demotion felt like losing a piece of childhood wonder, a familiar dot amid the vast darkness of space. Fans and even some US state legislatures expressed their emotional attachment through campaigns and symbolic resolutions declaring, "Pluto is still a planet in my heart." Yet, from a scientific perspective, this redefinition allowed us to better understand the structure of our solar system. By embracing a more rigorous definition, astronomers set the stage for further discoveries. The classification of Pluto as a dwarf planet opened the door to identifying other fascinating worlds, such as Eris, Makemake, Haumea, and even Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt. In the years that followed, missions like NASA's New Horizons provided breathtaking images and data from Pluto's surface, revealing a landscape of frozen nitrogen plains, ice mountains, and hints of complex geological activity. These findings remind us that even if Pluto isn't classified as a full-fledged planet, it remains a dynamic and intriguing world, a miniature system in its own right that challenges our ideas about what a planet truly is. So, what does all this mean? The case of Pluto teaches us that scientific definitions aren't set in stone. They evolve as our tools improve and our understanding deepens. While Pluto may no longer be the 9th planet in a traditional sense, its story continues to inspire debate, spark curiosity, and remind us that the universe is full of surprises waiting to be discovered. As we journey further into space, one thing remains clear: the mystery of Pluto and the evolving nature of science encourages us to constantly question, learn, and marvel at the cosmos. What are your thoughts on Pluto's transformation? Does reclassifying it diminish its wonder, or does it open up a horizon of new discoveries? Stay tuned, keep exploring, and remember, the universe still holds countless mysteries, and every unanswered question is an invitation to look deeper.